go to competitions so we can make the numbers, so we can qualify and be able to go to Rio. I know that for 2012, there was some sort of support from Logo for our federations, and I think Commonwealth Games in Glasgow, the same thing was done. Are we getting something similar from Rio? You've spoken about scholarships to our athletes. That's good for those who want to qualify. For us at weightlifting, we're still waiting for a response from GOC why we're not even giving those scholarships. But what are we doing to make sure that we get the numbers that Chris spoke about?
Thank you. I guess all I can say is that the responsibility of preparing national teams is fundamentally the responsibility of the state. It's government's responsibility to be preparing our teams and to be releasing funds for the preparation of our teams. GOC's role has mainly been to try to help where we can. And every time that we've been able to help at some point, including the provision of scholarships for teams, for individuals or federations that were awarded scholarships, we always made it a point to say that this cannot be seen as meeting the core needs of these athletes, because that responsibility of preparing our teams for functions as significant as the Olympic Games are the preserve of government. I think it wasn't too long ago that we spoke about the outstanding debts of federations to the GOC. This came from the prior Olympic Games, where I think government was unable to support teams to go for qualifiers. GOC decided to extend its remit beyond its boundaries, and I say beyond its boundaries because our core responsibility is to take teams to the games, to lead teams to the games. So by definition, the teams fall into our hands when they qualify, not prior to that. Prior to that, they are the responsibility of government, and it's the responsibility of us as national federations to prepare these teams. And of course, national federations also anticipate that the funding to prepare the teams will come from government. So we will continue to try to support wherever we can find funds. It is the reason why we have already talked to a couple of potential sponsors to get money for the games. But that is the plan. The plan also is to talk to federation presidents, and the chef de mission talked about how he had planned this monthly set of meetings. But in those meetings, the suggestion to presidents is to continue to do what they have to do to get their teams prepared. The GOC is in a difficult place in terms of being able to prepare Ghana's teams for Olympic Games. Because even after the teams have qualified, when they become the responsibility of the Ghana Olympic Committee, they become the responsibility of the Ghana Olympic Committee with funding from government. So if even after they've qualified, we are seen to be leading them and we don't have the funding support from government, we end up in the place where we've been over the last 3 or 4 years. That's the best I can do with respect to an answer to that question. Anybody else may want to chip in? I think, yeah. Oh, yeah. The LOC, that's with the
I think you asked something about whether money would come from Rio. No, Rio doesn't give money for training or no, they don't give. Even for London Olympics, the money they gave was not for preparation. It is when you qualify, they give a certain amount of money as subsidy towards getting the people to the. I mean, the same with the Common, they gave a certain figure because of but local Olympics itself. What you get is a subsidy towards getting to the games. Those who qualify. So before they qualify, you don't get. If those who qualify, there's a subsidy that comes to assist the NOC to get those athletes to the games.
Mr. President, I have something.